Hello, hello. My name is Nancy Schwartz, and you are listening to The Art of Healthy Retirement. And I'm so excited that you're tuning in today because I have an extraordinary individual on the other side of the screen, Dr. Cynthia Carey. And she and I met in a global mentorship, and I immediately was drawn to her energy and her beauty and her knowledge and her fun, a great sense of humor. In the lives that she has lived. And I want her to tell you all about the various careers and how she moved in many different areas of her life and now pursuing really an extraordinary practice that she's still very active in. So Dr. Carey, Cynthia, welcome and happy holidays. And I'm so excited that you're here. And this is really a podcast to serve as an educational tool to inspire those in and around retirement, whether you're moving out of a certain career into healthy retirement, and or you're retired, but you feel there's just something more that you want to elevate yourself. And Cynthia is a passionate, driven, amazing woman who shares my passion for health. So Cynthia, welcome, and tell us a little bit about your journey. We're so excited to learn about this.
Thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate the time. And as I recall our meeting, you were saying, well, I'm probably the oldest person in the group. And I'm just going, no, you're not. I'm 71 and I have a feeling I'm older than you are. So I always get a big kick when people have preconceived conceptions about aging and health. I think we unfortunately live in a society where conventional health kind of gets us into the mindset as we age, we're going to get fat, sick, depressed, become a burden to somebody. And I get outraged about that because I really do believe I've seen it with my clients that you really you can impact your health at any age. And I tell people you're not your age, you are your energy. And your energy is ultimately your health. Without health, you don't have energy. So
exactly. I hope the audience is really tuning into those pearls of wisdom because I'm so passionate because you and I are going to live very long lives and have a tremendous impact on people because we have our energy, because we have our health, and we honor it today, right? As much as the impact that it's going to have for our longevity. So keep talking. We're listening.
I always tell all of my clients or my potential clients, let's just assume we can all live till we're 100. Okay, so for me, let's see, 71, still have some time left. Yay.
Yes.
So how do you want to live the time that you have? I know that I want to live on purpose, with passion, with humor, with excitement. I want to travel. I love painting. I love working with my clients. I will never, quote unquote, retire, but I will probably evolve over time too, which I've been doing that pretty much my entire life.
Yes.
So, but if you were going to tell me, okay, you're going to spend the next, 20 years in an assisted living facility, was waiting for someone to change my adult Pampers, I would not be too excited about that option. So for me, I think it's incredibly vital that we do what we can to naturally improve our health every day, because you were created to be self-healing. Within a 12-month period, you basically replace every cell.
Isn't that amazing?
So
that's just so
and that
cool.
doesn't stop at a certain age. Right. You do that forever. I mean, even after you die, your fingernails continue to grow for a period of time until it finally goes, all right, forget it. There's no point. But the thing is, we're constantly rejuvenating, rehealing, restoring our health. And I think it's really unfortunately, most of what we've learned about being healthy is nonsense. It's basically stupid. I always get a kick out of my menopausal clients going, well, I don't have hormones anymore. And I remind them, you have over 600. They don't all dry up just because your ovaries quit. All right. So every woman who lives long enough will go through menopause. Every woman who lives even longer will be post-menopausal. Most of us are post-menopausal for 1/3 of our lives. It's not a disease. It's natural.
Mm-hmm.
So if we really learn to just help rejuvenate our bodies naturally, the way we were created to be, things are so much better.
Yes, yes, they are. And I know when we had talked earlier, you talked about mindset and how passionate you are about that. So I wonder if you could share a little bit about mindset, but also what has been your mindset in terms of your journey, because you've had many different stops along the way to here.
Yes, I have. I mean, I actually developed a pretty severe speech impediment at age 8. So if any of you are psychologists, you can probably figure that out. And as I went through life, I was always challenging myself to overcome, to take control. So I started out as a teacher, and then I became a counselor, marriage counselor, which was kind of funny because all my couples were like separating. And I thought, you know what, I'm on the wrong side of this whole thing. So then I became an attorney, which is an intriguing career choice for someone with a speech impediment, because that's what you do pretty much the whole day. But I did that, enjoyed that for quite a while. And my father died of cancer at age 60. So I inherited part of his company at that time, ran that, met my husband about that time too. We sold the company and went into quote unquote retirement at that point. And quite honestly, I just can't be retired. I need to do something. So didn't have to be the same thing. I didn't want to go back to being an attorney at that point. So I thought, okay, I'll go to, well, I had a lot of migraines my whole life also. And I was seeing a chiropractic acupuncturist at the time. And within 6 treatments, my headaches were all gone.
Wow.
No drugs, no anything. So it was fantastic. It opened up possibilities that I hadn't even considered. So I went back to basically, I didn't know chiropractic education was basically med school. It is. And I got back in at age 55, graduated at age 60, near the top of my class, and just moved to El Paso at that time, where I am now, and opened a clinic. So I did a lot of very traditional chiropractic acupuncture, and my clients would improve for a week or 2. Then they'd have to come back. And they were not really improving their health. They were just depending on me to fix them without taking any responsibility of their own health other than showing up. So I finally got really interested in functional health.
Mm.
What is the root cause? Trust me, I was not getting my migraines because I didn't have enough Advil flowing through my blood. That was not the cause. So I find that once you really get to the root cause, get to your foundation of health, and it's been interesting because I strip it down more and more and more. I'm not really as concerned about symptoms anymore, because once you clear the root cause, the symptoms are gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I basically shut my brick and mortar practice, and now I do virtual functional wellness education. And I'm thrilled with the outcome that my clients have. My husband had, I mean, he lost over 60 pounds, which was incredible for him. So it was just really, it's exciting to really be able to help people achieve health at any age.
Yeah, and I think that's such a great point, Cynthia. You know, health at any age. You can start somewhere today to really impact your tomorrow. So I love that, what you said. But I'm also very curious about your mindset. How have you kept yourself going through all these different transitions? And then what gems do you share with your clients in terms of this very proactive and I guess I'm lacking a word, but I want to say lively, because you are very lively. I wish people could see and hear. They will be seeing the video certainly, but if they're listening, they just see that your energy is just beautiful. So tell us more about that.
Well, I really, obviously, the wall behind me is probably a pretty big hint as to where I get my motivation and passion. I really believe we were all put on this earth to fulfill a purpose. I don't think any of us were put on this earth to be sick, to suffer, to be depressed, to be living in fear and pain. I really believe we were put on this earth to fulfill a purpose. However, you cannot fulfill that purpose without your health.
Right.
So I have always been curious. I have always liked to evolve as much as I can. My life is not a traditional one by any means. I may look rather traditional, but I'm very much not. I can promise everybody that. But I've just always felt that I'm here for a purpose. I want to achieve it. My father, as I told you, died at age 60. My mother was about 4 years younger than he was. She had never worked out of the house. And so this was a horrible occurrence to her.
Yes.
To lose her life partner, and her whole purpose was taking care of my father and us. After he died, she was under full-time psychiatric care, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, sleeping pills. And within about 4 months after my dad died, my mother shot herself in the head. Now I know, I didn't know then, I was an attorney at that time, but now I know one of the main side effects of antidepressants, anti-anxiety drugs is suicide. And I also now know why those don't even work.
Yeah.
You make 95% of your serotonin in your gut. You make 85% of your GABA in your gut. You make 80% of your dopamine in your gut. You make your neurotransmitters in your gut, not your brain. Your gut is now referred to as your second brain. And it actually sends more messages to your primary brain than the opposite way. So if you have an inflamed gut, which virtually everybody does,
Exactly.
you
With the
have an
diets.
inflamed brain.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is such a key point when I learned this, because I'm a business person. I'm not a science person nor a lawyer or all the other wonderful things that you've had. But here, Cynthia, so clearly when she's talking about this revelation, right? That the power is in the digestive system that really is talking to what we think is the power source, which is the brain. But in essence, because of science and technology and all that we know today, we're radically changing where you, who look at the root cause, right, and assess your clients, have that ability to sense, I can help here because we have another place to go to be able to help people. Yeah.
Totally. And again, I believe everyone, every day of your life, you're making a choice. You're either improving your health or harming your health. It's, you never just plateau out and just kind of drift. It's either going up or down. You get to choose. And I tell my clients, I mean, our program will give you a blueprint. You're going to know what you're doing every day. It's makes it much easier. Results, but ultimately you are the one who decides what you eat, what you drink, how you move, how you sleep, and most importantly, how you think. Negative thinking, negative attitudes definitely has a devastating approach on everything. So I really encourage people to have gratitude every day. Know that you are blessed and be a blessing. So
yes, that's so beautiful. Could you expand a little bit for people like myself who maybe know this or maybe could receive some of your wisdom in terms of why is it that negative thoughts or thoughts that are not nourishing to one, why is that so challenging for our system?
well, negativity, negative energy actually pulls your energetics down. You have over 70 trillion cells in your body. The smallest component of every cell is energy. We're bioenergetic. When you are feeling positive and gratitude and love and hope, your energy actually increases. You can feel it. You can see it. I mean, depressed people look gray. They just look hopeless. People with health, vibrancy, love, faith, they look alive. They actually generate an energy that is palpable. You can actually feel it. You can perceive it. An example of that is my husband has been going through cancer treatment for throat cancer. I'll call it that. It's actually at his tongue. And we've been going to MD Anderson so that he can get treatment for it. It's not the type of treatment that I would get, but it's his choice. So fine. But I go there to support him. Actually, the doctors there hate me, but that's okay.
That's another story.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
They haven't kicked me out yet. But when you're there, just the energetics in the place is exhausting. I mean, it's just draining. And I find that I have to go outside and sit in the sun and do things to get my energetics back. This is not a place I would choose to be at, but I want to be there to support him. But it's really amazing how, and the people obviously are scared to death. and they're going through a horrible, and I'm not making light of any of it. My heart goes out to them. And, my husband is quote unquote cancer free at this point, even though we know no one's ever cancer free, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So he is quote unquote cancer free. And I think having a positive attitude and having good energy and really being active, and I think that's helped him quite a bit too. But a lot of these people, it's just, I wish I could have gotten to you 10 years ago. Do something to improve your health every day. And the thing that makes me crazy, they're like giving these people candy bars and muffins and all this sugar laden foods that feeds the cancer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting that you say that. I had a client whose sister, unfortunately, was undergoing a very long-term cancer protocols over many, many years and really fighting for her life, basically. And similarly, the treatment was, oh, we'll give you stuff that you can tolerate. So it basically was like ice cream and cake, all sugar loaded. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, but I'm not a physician. So I said my piece to communicate to the sister, but certainly I couldn't drive it. And so it's really interesting, this, we know better, but it's still institutionalized in some manner. If I'm looking at it from a business point of view, that these are the practices, these are the protocols, and yet there's so much work needed to be done in terms of what you're talking about. And I feel that I have had a lot of experience in hospital settings with many people who I've helped over many, many decades. And I'm sure similarly, this is not unique for yourself with your husband as well, that you can feel, you step in the door, get around the place and step in the door. And I didn't think about this until you said this, but I'm going back to my situations and I'm like, wow, you're absolutely correct. And I was unaware. So thank you for sharing that's a current, very real situation right now that everyone should be informed of. So thank you for that. Yeah.
But again, the more faith, hope, health, which all of this does, this is the foundation of health.
Yes.
Okay. Having just a positive energy, you work at a different frequency, you live at a different frequency, you regenerate at a different frequency. This all works. Food is energy. Food is not the enemy. Real food is energy. Processed foods, packaged foods, highly sugared foods, low fat, no fat, all that crap. Highly processed foods are energy drainers. Real food creates the energy that our bodies need. The Garden of Eden was not filled with ho-hos and little Debbies and all of that type of thing. The Garden of Eden was filled with authentic, nourishing, rejuvenating foods. If we could just believe that the earth provides for us if we work with it, we'd be amazed at how things can improve. I love working with people, and within a couple of weeks, they're going like, I'm feeling better. How is that even possible? It is that possible. You can change things that quickly, but you have to decide to do it.
Right.
I mean, I've had clients come in, they've been on 33 pharmaceutical drugs.
Wow.
I'd be dead. I mean, I could not do that. And it's like, how are you standing? How are you even moving? And then they're told that they have kidney failure and they're going into Alzheimer's. And you read the side effects of every single drug they're on. And all of them have an impact on kidney function, liver function, and brain function and heart function. I mean, you're poisoning yourself. And then you're surprised that the side effects from all this medication is actually creating more disease. So
yeah, and more harm than doing good. Absolutely. And
absolutely.
I remember years ago sitting with a client, and we were in some corporate setting, and they had the TV blasting, and they were running one of these pharmaceutical ads, as they do. And then at the tail end, they do a very quick clip of all, and the side effects could be. And he turned to me and said, wow. I mean, it was just such dramatic wow, like, my goodness, so but I know that's the way our world thinks, which is wonderful in certain cases, right? In certain cases it serves, but in others I think I think we could all benefit from a point of view of, as you say, choice, and also the functional piece of it, which for those who don't really know about that, it's really about everything that you're talking about, which is getting to the root cause, not, as you said, putting a Band-Aid on it, but really digging down. And I always talk about it in my program that pieces of us are so interconnected, right? So could you share a little bit about your view that, do you feel that pieces are interconnected, particularly when we're talking about the mind and many other things once you are practicing with your clients?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, over 70 trillion cells. But the most interesting thing is you have 10 times that amount of bacteria. Your microbiome. If I was going to take you and melt you down, and I promise I'm not, but if I was, you'd be 10% human cells and 90+% bacterial cells. Okay. Microbiome is a huge part of our essence also. And so it's kind of the thing. And again, I agree with you. I tell my clients, if you've been in a car crash and your femur is protruding through your thigh, you need the heavy drugs. You need surgical options. Don't come to me for acupuncture. I mean, it's like supplements. No, that's not the time. But if you really think that you need to take a drug every day for the rest of your life, it's not healing you.
Right.
It is absolutely not. So, yeah, there's just so much codependence on everything in our environment to really improve health. So I'm not sure I answered your question, but I just think it's so important that we know there's more to us than just what we think.
And what was coming to me when you were talking, it's the psychology of life. It's almost, as you say, it's the choice, right? How you have that choice. So yes, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So we're coming to the end of our session, but one question that I always pose to my guests, if you could indulge us, is, what is a story that you've experienced? What was the most magnificent moment in your life up to today?
I think about that quite a bit. And there have been so many. I really, and it happens every day. I have joy and wonderment every day. crazy thing. About 2 years ago, when I was still in my clinic, there was a little kitten that came and curled in front of our clinic door, and it was snow and rain and sleet. I mean, not El Paso type weather at all. And this poor little guy was just trying to live. And I didn't want another cat. I've already got a cat. I've got 2 dogs. It was like, no, I don't want any more animals. But I looked at him, and just the pureness and the love that was coming from him. So of course I have him still. He's still here. He's my boy. But it's just amazing how every single element of my life brings such joy and love. And I'm kind of in awe. I mean, the people that I meet, my children, my husband, just our clients, my team. I mean, I have had such a blessed life. Every day has been a blessing that I've had so many beautiful vacations and people, and I've just truly been incredibly, incredibly blessed. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing the story of your little kitty find and all your blessings. And if people are interested in getting in contact with you, what's the best way that they could get in contact with you? And then we'll post this in the notes for sure.
Perfect. Well, if you would go to wellnesstruecare.com, that would be a perfect way. We have wellnesstruecare.com/bio page that kind of gives you all the options, and I would be thrilled and honored to talk to anybody about anything. So this really is my life purpose at this point. I was not able to help my parents when they had their challenges, but the biggest thrill and privilege in my life is I do have an opportunity to help others. And that is why I'm here.
And on that note,
literally why I'm here.
And
that's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So thank you so much, Dr. Cynthia Carey, for gracing our stages today. We're so delighted to have this conversation. And again, you'll see it in the notes where to reach you, and we hope that you return in future years. So thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.